The worst thing is,
I did hit record, so we're recording. But just say what you're going to say.
no, not for recording. All right.
You want me to pause it?
No.
You're bloody knackered?
I'm bloody knackered.
I was going to take this. Let me strip for the camera. You can entertain the viewer while I'm doing this.
What are you doing?
I like to have my Westgate contest. You know, it's helped a lot this year. So
yeah, it's been stellar, actually. I've got my Earthquakes garb on tonight.
Oh, I like that.
I'm supporting the Earthquakes. Got the Earthquakes sweater. Got the Earthquakes hat. I'm not cold. I'm just wearing it. And
I am cold. That's why I have a sweater on.
The season is over.
I don't call it a sweater. Sweatshirt.
They didn't make it to the playoffs. They made it to the wild card game against KC.
Did you notice that I took my headphones off? So whatever you're saying, I can't hear. So now's now's the time to make all the winning picks.
I've already made them. I just put 5 picks out. So anyway, so that was the last of my top 5. So what do you think about those?
I think we should probably call it a night because you're not going to get any help from me.
No, I never do. I never do. I've been waiting for it.
This is just I've got to return to my roots. This bullshit game tonight. Did you catch any of the late game stuff?
No. All I caught was about 3 minutes at the end of the game, which was just enough to see.
It's just bullshit.
I did tell you to go Tampa Bay.
I know, but anybody that picked Tampa Bay cannot fucking take credit for taking Tampa Bay in that game. Are you kidding me?
So
4th and 10. It's
not about taking Tampa Bay. You know this. It's about the number.
I know.
Number was good.
I understand all of that. But if you watch the game, it's absolute nonsense. They're up by 14. It's 4th and 10. Illegal contact, 5-yard penalty. Okay, great. It's 4th and 8. Baker Mayfield's in a bear hug, sacked, gonna be a turnover, and they call a face mask on the sack. If the guy didn't try to put him on the ground, the game probably would have been over. Then they get a 4th down, 25-yard touchdown on 4th down. It's just nonsense.
I know.
Never. I might not ever take a favorite ever again.
I don't know why you bother. It's like me in horse racing. I told you, don't do favorites.
All right. Well, I don't do favorites in horse racing.
I got 5 favorites. No, just kidding.
All right. You ready?
No. Let's go.
All right. Recap last week. Quick recap. Colts, Browns. That was just kind of a shitty game.
It was a shitty game. Browns should have covered.
You think they should have covered? I don't know. Yeah. I didn't feel real comfortable about that game the whole time I was watching it. So, I didn't know that we took the Bills. I thought I took the Bills, but I didn't know that we did. I guess.
You went against my other picks like Baltimore.
Yeah, I guess somehow we agreed with that one, and that was just a shit show.
Yeah. I think you misunderstood.
Barely covered.
I think you misunderstood me saying Baltimore and you put Buffalo down, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think I was off Baltimore for I was leaning Detroit in that game.
What do you get if you work your fingers to the bone?
You get bony fingers.
Fingers.
That's another thing I probably should need to reintroduce back to my
I earned that one.
My on-screen performance here is a beverage.
Yes.
Seattle, Arizona, whatever. They covered by 2. I think you're gonna like Seattle this week. I'm projecting that you like Seattle this week, and you're smiling already. So
my number 1 bet.
Yeah, Philadelphia smashed Miami. That game wasn't even that close. Should have been 31-7, probably not 31-17.
They are on fire.
That was my favorite pick of the week.
They are on fire.
And the Niners Vikings was you were leaning Minnesota, but I don't think you would have taken Minnesota -7. So
no, you're right. I wasn't.
That was just.
I think it was great for our basket of bets. I think they're in it now.
Yes, for sure. They're live now.
They're alive. They're doing well. They're playing well. I am concerned about the Niners. We'll talk about it when we get to it because we have to bet them, which is always a bugger. We have to bet them.
Yeah.
Because this week's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking back on my picks for the 49ers, and the strategy behind this was this is the team that at least I follow the closest. So we should have the best advantage here. I have not accurately picked one single game for the 49ers this year. I am the best result I have was not picking the Thursday night game against the Giants.
And the other good results. The other good results you had is when I pick them.
Yeah, no, we won that one, but I was against you on that.
Yes.
Yeah, you. Oh no, did I force play? Did I force play the Cardinals in that game, or did you force play the Niners? I think I might have force played Arizona, and we lost.
I can't remember. I'll have to watch our rerun show.
I think I force played Arizona. They didn't cover the game until there was less than 2 minutes left, but nonetheless, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So there we are. We are in the worst possible position you could possibly be in, which is mediocre, because at least if we were shittier, we could say, hey, just take our opposite picks.
We're 500. We're not even 500.
Well, yeah, we're around 500, which is the worst. You want to be really good, or you want to be really shitty and just start thinking different.
Yeah.
We're in the middle. We're stuck in the middle. So,
all right.
That's where we are. Let's do it.
Sounds like a bit of a song coming on.
Let's do it.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am.
Wait a second. Am I left? Am I left on your screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm the clown. That's good. We're about to put Pepe Le Pew back up there.
No. I don't deserve Pepe from last week. Well, actually, it wasn't great. I don't feel good about this week, although I've not had any time to do very much at all.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Well, without doing much work on Tampa Bay, you would have had the plus 8.5. So
yeah, I did enough. The points were good.
All right. What about here? 3-4. Colts, Saints. Okay. I like one of these teams clearly.
I'm not even on that game. Not interested in it. Not even looked at it. Don't even have any notes.
Okay. I don't know if this would be in the 5 for me, but I would go Saints. Primarily because these things tend to balance themselves out. The Saints are 1-5-1 against the spread. And I told you this season I was going to bet variability. I'm not sure I've done that. I think I've taken the teams that have done well to continue to do well. It's just not the case. So New Orleans is 1-5-1 ATS. The other teams that had a shitty ATS record like that, New England was 1-5. They covered last week. The Giants were 1-5. They covered and won last week. So did the Patriots. Atlanta was 1-5. They covered as a favorite. Denver was 0-5-1, and they covered as a favorite. So I'm just saying, fuck it. I'm not going to get too complicated with it. I don't think the Colts are that good, although Steichen has proved to be pretty decent offensive guy.
I think he is decent.
So, but I would take the Saints.
Saints have the better team, even with the crappy coach and QB. They've got the better team.
Yes.
I think so. I would only lean Saints and pick them, but
yeah, it's a lean. Okay. How about 5-6 Jacksonville, Pittsburgh? You like this one?
I don't like the situation. I don't like them coming at Steelers at home. I think Jacksonville are playing well. I still don't think Trevor Lawrence is any good right now. Well, that's not any good right now. I don't think he's Trevor Lawrence of last year. He's not playing great. They've had a couple of good wins. They've brought themselves back in the mix. Mike Tomlin at home dog, less than 3. I just don't like the game. I'm off it.
Off it. This is my best bet of the week.
You're taking the
Jacksonville.
Jags. Yeah.
And I think it's a terrible spot for Pittsburgh for the opposite reasons that I liked Pittsburgh last week, which was they beat Baltimore. They had a bye, 2 weeks to prepare for the Rams, who aren't that good, and a road dog. Now they're going back, less time to prepare. They're playing against a better team. I don't love home dog Tomlin, but I think Jacksonville's a better team. The other thing is I think the weather might be a little bit screwy for this game, and I think that levels the playing field. So for those 2 reasons, I'm somewhat nervous, but I just think Jacksonville's the better team. I think they're playing better. I think Pittsburgh kind of shot their wad last week, and they tend to play up and down anyway because they're kind of an emotional squad. So I think they were up last week. They're going down this week. I think Jacksonville wins and covers. Cool. 7-8, Houston, Carolina Panthers.
So This one interests me, this one.
Okay.
You've got an 0-6 team
Mm-hmm.
coming off a bye,
Mm-hmm.
and they never went to Turks and Caicos with the Houston Texans, who were really enjoying the start of their season. They had a nice little vacation. Carolina
They
Panthers,
did? That's true?
I have no idea. I'm sure they did. Carolina Panthers are, in my opinion, going to win the game. And they're going to win the game. They've made a change as the offensive coordinator. They're off 0-6. They've had their wrist slaps, their bottom spanked, and they are going to come out ready to go to town on the Texans. And they're going to be 1-6. +3 is a number I like here. I think it's a good situation for Carolina Panthers. It's my bet.
Is it a top 5?
It's on my it's in my, because of the having to put in a San Francisco game, it made it to the top of my second tier.
Okay, so it's one of your tier 2 games where you've done better than your tier 1 games.
Yeah.
I like Carolina.
Yeah.
And I will summarize what you just said in one sentence. It's their Super Bowl. They haven't won. They haven't covered. They've got a bye. Houston's coming off a bye too, so that kind of negates itself. But they're playing at home, and this will be their best chance to win a game all season. Yeah, if they want to win, this is the one they've got to get tuned up for.
They're playing all out.
I looked at, so last week I thought Philly was like peak motivation. I've got Carolina peak motivation this week.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
100%
okay.
Agree with you.
So Carolina might be one of our might be one of our 5.
Could be up there.
Okay. Next one, we got Eagles Commanders. What do you think?
Well, we know that the Commies played them well at home. This is the second time they've played this season. Eagles in a much better shape physically, much better shape strategically, just all around a better team. They spank the Commanders this week. They spank them.
Okay. I usually don't do this until the playoffs, but I've been doing, like this week I'm doing who's going to win and who's going to cover. I've got Philly to win. I'm not concerned about that. The 6.5 for a division dog at home makes me a little nervous, but the trend last year was Washington beat them the first game and then Philly destroyed them the second game.
Destroyed them. They will spank their bottom big time.
Yeah.
Bobby.
And then I think about, I liked the Giants last week against Washington, and they won outright as a 3-point dog. So I have a little question mark about Washington right now. They're supposed to have a good offense, and they couldn't score last week. Their defense is supposed to be crap, and they only gave up 14 points. So I don't really know what I'm going to get. I'm going to default to Philadelphia as they're going to control the game. They're going to run the ball. If they don't turn the ball over, it's really hard to get away from them. And the Commies just don't have the horses to stop them.
Defense is going to just kill Sam Howell.
Yeah, well, and there's that. So I like Philadelphia. I don't know if I love the 6.5, but I could go there.
Yeah, I like Philly.
All right. Next, Dallas Rams. You got burned on the Rams last week.
Yeah, we did. That was not good. I did not like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
That was an unlucky beat. That was a bad beat. That was like the horse breaking its leg coming down the turn in first place and getting pipped at the post. I like Dallas coming off a bye. Mike McCarthy's got a great record coming off a bye. I don't think the Rams are all that. I don't think their defense is good. I heard that, and you know me, I don't know too much detail on some of the statistical stuff regarding defensive strategies against offensive strategies, but I know that this is not Prescott's favorite defense to play against. But they've got some work to do. They've got a point to prove, Dallas. I think they worked hard. I think they're going to come out, and I think they win the game. I don't like this as a tier 1, but I think they win. I think they cover, and I think they've got a point to make.
Yeah. My notes here, I didn't do a big dive on this one. I just kind of looked at the Dallas games this year, and it's like they win by 35, they lose by 30, they win by 28, they lose by 17. So I just wrote down, if one of these teams is going to blow out the other team, who wins?
Yeah.
And it's Dallas.
Dallas.
So I would lean Dallas. Again, I don't love swallowing the 6.5, but I echo what you said. I think they're the better team. I think they're coming off a bye. For some reason, I haven't done the stats on this, but I feel like the teams coming off a bye this year have done really well.
And McCarthy's record is what, 9-2-1, I heard. Coming off a bye.
Solid. I don't know.
Solid.
That's a good stat. All right. So we both kind of like Dallas.
We do kind of like it.
13-14, Dolphins, Patriots.
Don't like it at all.
You don't like this one?
No interest.
I've got Dolphins to win, Patriots to cover. It's an uncomfortable pick because they're not even in the same stratosphere of quality of teams. But the Patriots tend to find a way to cover games. They covered 3 weeks or whenever they played in week 3, week 4, whatever. They surprisingly beat Buffalo last week. I don't know. I don't know what to make of. I feel pretty good on my assessment of Miami. I just don't know what Patriots team's going to show up.
And I think, we know that Bill Belichick's teams get better when it gets colder. They get better when it gets later into the season. I mean, it's time to start to see them build their strength a little bit. I just think, I'd like to take Miami, but if I was putting money on this, I would have to take points with New England.
Yeah, I think you'd have to take the 9. Again, it's a division dog thing. I'm trying to revert back to my nature, which is nobody's trying to cover. Like the Bills weren't trying to cover tonight. They were trying to win, which is what they do. So 9, I think 9 is a lot. I wouldn't feel great about it, but you'd have to take the 9.
Yeah.
Cool. Jets, Giants, 15-16, 2.5. What do you think?
New York wins.
Sweet.
Yep.
That's good. Pick. Is there a bet on that?
Bet on New York winning?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of these places that can't use the doesn't have the copyright to say the Jets and the Giants. You just bet New York to win. Find that book.
No interest in the game. I think the Jets. I think Giants. I don't like him. I think you like him a little bit more than I do, or a lot more than I do. If I was to lean on this, I would lean Giants. But I think Jets are doing okay considering they've got a crappy QB. But he's getting a bit better. I think he's getting in the groove a little bit. This is a chance for the Jets to get what are they right now? 3-3. So this is the chance for them to get a little bit of a head up. I just don't like the game.
Yeah.
Not interested in either team.
That's my reaction.
Yeah.
This one, I'm torn. If I had to pick it, I'd probably take the Jets. I just don't know how the Giants score. They scored 14 points last week against a terrible Washington defense.
Terrible.
The Jets defense is not only rested, but pretty damn good. So then it gets to, can Zach Wilson make a few plays? Their defense might score, but can Zach Wilson make a few plays against the Giants? The Giants are playing a little bit better. They're trending the right direction.
They are.
But I just don't know if they can score. So if you can't score, can I bet on the Jets maybe scoring 17? Can they win like 17-6? Yeah, I think they can. So I think there's more possibilities here for the Jets. The Giants also tend to play, Wink Martindale tends to do a high risk, high reward defense. A lot of blitzing, a lot of man-to-man coverage. If the Jets have extra time to prepare for that, I think they could maybe crack 1 or 2 big plays, and that'll be the difference.
Yeah. I had to take, in my ATS, pick them all the way down. I had to take them. I took the Jets. I've had to take anybody to the Jets.
Okay. Even though a minute ago you said you take the Giants.
I would lean Giants, but I took the Jets because I still think at the end of the day they've probably got more chance of winning.
17-18, Falcons, Titans. Anything here?
So I've been flip-flopping on this one. 1 minute I want Tennessee Titans to win, and I think, is that because I got money on the futures? Could be. Is that because I like Vrabel's team? Yes. Do I like them coming off a rest playing at home? Yes, I do. Do I think Atlanta could beat them though? Because really, I think they haven't won many games in the last 11 or 12 game stretch going into last season. Tennessee, they're just not in a good spot. They just don't have a good roster. Makes me nervous. But then, and are they tanking? I mean, are they tanking? But they've got Levis. Are they going to play Levis? If Levis plays, is he better than Tannehill? Is it worth sticking with him? I just don't know. It's a confusing game, so I don't know where I am right now. It's a lot of talk and no action.
I like that. I like Tennessee here. I agree with everything you said. What I like about the Levis potential is Atlanta has no clue what they're going to get. They have no idea what to prepare for. They can go back and watch college tape and be like, okay, he's got this tendency, he's got this tendency, and Tennessee could do none of that.
Yeah.
So Tennessee's coming off a bye. They've got 2 weeks to put this stuff in. So it could be a surprising game plan from Tennessee that Atlanta has no clue what hits them. So, I mean, that's thinking optimistically about Tennessee. The pessimistic view is they're going to a rookie quarterback who's going to suck because that's usually what happens.
Yeah, and the tanking.
Maybe tanking. They did trade, one of their better defensive players. I'm not really sure if that matters. I
think
it's probably a good pickup for Philly, more so than it's a big loss for Tennessee.
I think so, and I do think after how they ended last season and how they're playing this season, that there's got to be some changes and some rebuilding. I don't think they're playing for anything anymore. I think my future's out the window. A lot of money has gone on. A lot of money has gone on. They're under 7.5. A lot of money has gone on. They're under 7.5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting to me. And if the futures are under 7.5, I would struggle to take them. If I had to pick a team, as much as I love Tennessee, I would pick Atlanta in this.
In this one? Okay.
In this one. I'd rather they got 3 points.
Yeah.
Where they do get 3, I'll take them. But 2.5, it's tough.
Yeah.
Well,
here's another factor for me against Atlanta. So as you know, I sent you the text message about more. I need to go just because I've designed these spreadsheets and I'm doing all this data. I think I've gone too far the data side. I think biggest letdown teams this week. Atlanta is on the list. Atlanta? How could Atlanta be in a letdown spot? Well, it just so happened that the game last week was on the road, division game, winner takes the lead in the division. And they kicked Tampa Bay's ass. I picked Tampa Bay. That game wasn't that close. It should not have come down to a game-winning field goal. So now they're going, okay, they win that game. Rah, 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 rah. It's their third straight game on the road. Tennessee's rested. It's going to be physical. Even if Levis plays like Josh Allen, I could see Levis going like 1 touchdown passing, 1 touchdown rushing, and 2 picks. I think Atlanta's in a letdown position. I think they wanted the game last week. They balled out. It's not going to be the same Atlanta team this week, and they're going to be up against a rested, more physical squad. And some people, when you trade one of your better players, sometimes the message around the locker room is, oh shit, like, I better get my fanny together. So I like Tennessee, but I'm not a fan of Atlanta. Green Bay, Minnesota. Talk to me.
Oh, I've got no love for Green Bay right now.
Ooh.
And that's tough. That hurts me to say.
Ooh.
I was high on Love at the beginning of the season. As you well know, one of my bigger first bets on the futures. My heart is torn. They just are not good. I want them to win. However, after watching Minnesota last week and how damn good they were, and they were damn good, they're coming into some form. They can sniff the playoffs. They're winning this game. It's not difficult.
So. I'm shocked this is a pick'em line.
I am shocked. I am shocked.
I agree. I don't know why.
My card. Come on, pick it.
I was looking at this game last week, and the look ahead was Green Bay favored by 1. And I was like, what? Unless somebody gets hurt for Minnesota, or the Niners just absolutely boat race them, Minnesota's better.
Yeah. And Minnesota's probably got through their toughest stretch.
Yes, I looked at Minnesota's schedule. They can rattle off. They could win 6 of the next 7, probably.
They could. And they've got some energy and momentum now.
Yeah. And I do have them on my letdown list. So big Monday night game against the 49ers.
Yeah.
They win.
Yeah.
They played pretty well. There was a couple of plays that helped them win and cover, but I do have them in a letdown spot. But to curb the temptation for the letdown is a road game against a division rival. You don't have time to let down.
No.
You got the Monday night game, back to film and practice on Tuesday. Get your shit together. Let's go, because we're headed to Green Bay.
And what was one of the reasons why we liked them at the start of the season was the work that they were doing on their defense, the trades they made, the coaching change. It's starting to pay dividends.
I like that.
Let's watch them get better.
I had Jacksonville as my number 1 bet. I had Minnesota as my number 2.
Minnesota's number 2 for me.
Okay. Let's go. Here we go. This is your moment. Seattle and Cleveland.
It's just Seattle every day. Now, we do know the Cleveland Browns have top 5 defense. Well, probably, if not the best, arguably the best defense in the league right now.
But they got torched last week.
And they've got the lovely PJ Walker, who's supposed to be a nice guy, but he's shit. Seattle wins the game. They win big. They've got to stop messing around. They mess around a little bit. They screw around. They make a few silly decisions. They make a few errors. They're a very, very good team overall. The Seahawks, they're winning this game. Simple bet.
By how much? More than 4? They're covering?
They're covering. Seahawks are covering.
Okay. So it's interesting.
I wish it was a little less, like I always do, but they're covering.
I had a conversation with one of my students today who's a Seahawks fan. Said, "Oh, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a showdown here on Thanksgiving," which is the Niners-Seahawks game in Seattle. And so we were talking a little bit. And I'm like, Seattle's just like the consistently grinding team. It's like they very rarely play really, really good. They very rarely play really, really shitty. Whereas it seems to me like the Niners are like they're like Peyton Manning is the comparison I'm starting to make. Most of the time they're very good, but when things go awry, they go to shit and they don't bounce back.
Yeah.
So I started thinking like the Niners are kind of front runners. Shanahan, when the game is tough, the Niners never seem to like figure out how to pull away and blow somebody out. It's always a grind. Yeah. When the momentum swings against them, like it did in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, they're done. They never respawn. They never react. They never get it back together. So for this game, I like Seattle as the grinder team. I think the Browns defense does make me nervous because you're only like, you're a Myles Garrett strip sack away from all kinds of shit going crazy. But I watched most of the Browns Colts game. I was not impressed with the Colts really at all.
The Browns or the Colts?
I was not impressed with the Browns.
The Browns, yeah.
So I would on my picks, I have Seattle will win, and then I have a question mark next to the cover. I tend to be wrong on Seattle a lot, so that makes me a little bit nervous.
I like him. It's big. It's a good one. It's good. Solid.
I know you like pounding Seattle. You're like the 13th man. Cool. Chiefs, Broncos.
Chiefs are going to win, no doubt about it. I don't like the points. Chiefs just win. They just win.
So, would you take Denver in the +7 if you had to?
If I
Similar to the Patriots?
If I had to, I'd probably take the Chiefs even at I don't know. I wouldn't even bet. I just don't want to. I just don't even want to think about it anymore.
The Chiefs against the spread record traditionally. They're doing better against the spread this year.
They are doing better against the spread, yeah.
They're 5-2 ATS. Denver just picked up their first win ATS last week.
Yeah.
I think this is a sucker line, and we've texted a little bit about this. This line started at 9, went down to 7. I suspect that is a phony move to try to get Kansas City. The money's going to, Sunday, the money's going to come in on Kansas City and it's going to blow back up to 9. So I don't think this is a good number to take Denver.
No.
Although rematch, division game,
yeah,
you probably want the points if it's a touchdown or more. All right, 25-26, Niners, Bengals. Your thoughts?
So I wanted to want the Niners to bounce back and win. I'm very nervous of a Cincinnati team off the break, with probably a much more healthy and dangerous Joe Burrow against a Niners team that the defense did not play as well as they can do. And now without Purdy, it makes me nervous.
Is Purdy, there's no official decision on Purdy yet, right?
No, but strangely, he went into concussion protocol late, which is that's weird. So he's not going to make it. He can't get eligible in time, I'm sure. I think every concussion protocol's taken at least 7 days to cover. I don't think he's going to get on.
I don't think so. I think he's going to play.
No. Nah, he's not. If he's playing at 3.5, I would be attempted for that to the Niners. He's not playing. Bengals. What did we get him? 5.5 and run your pools. It's like candy from a baby.
Yeah, it was 5.5 before he went into protocol, and then it went to 3.5 after he was in protocol.
Yeah, he's not playing.
So the trick here is if you take Niners minus 3.5 and then Purdy plays, you're feeling pretty good about it. Yeah. I'm not sure. Most of my analysis leans take the Bengals, regardless of who's playing quarterback for the Niners, which probably means we should take the Niners.
No, I can't. I really can't take the Niners in this position. I do.
Okay.
If Purdy plays, so Deebo Samuel's out. We know McCaffrey's fine. He played okay. He can run. Purdy's not looking great. If he's
Purdy's been fine.
Except the last 2 games.
The game last week was their defense. They couldn't get off the field.
I mean, they're at home, which makes a difference. You know,
it does.
It does make a difference. We saw them destroy Dallas at home, and then we've never seen that.
They have been much better at home.
We've never seen them since. I don't know where they went. That team was absolutely brilliant, and then the pants fell off. They tripped over and hit the face on the floor. So I Cincinnati, baby.
You like the Bengals?
I do.
I probably like the Bengals here too.
You do like the Bengals here.
My thinking is everything that you said. This is going to be the healthiest Burrow's been all season. The Niners defense is reeling. Is there tape now against the 49ers defense from Cleveland and Minnesota that teams can replicate? I think the Bengals are both creative enough and talented enough to replicate some of the things that these other teams have been doing. And so I think it's a tough spot for the 49ers. With that being said, I've been wrong on the 49ers every single time, which makes me think I would take Cincinnati. We should probably take the 49ers. My only analysis picking the Niners is that I've been wrong on them every single time, and I would take Cincinnati again.
Yeah.
Or we could do a soft move here. I will throw this out into the universe. We could get soft and say, based on Purdy's uncertainty, we shouldn't pick this game.
No. Can't do that. Can't do that. I do like your idea. I like it a lot, but then we'll find another excuse later on.
Yes, we will.
Sure. So let's not make any excuses.
We're not bullshit. We're picking the Niners every time, and we're taking the Bengals.
So yes.
Okay. Fine. I'm okay with that. You won't be there rooting for the 49ers and then in the back, just not by 4. Okay, Ravens Cardinals 27-28.
This is betting. This is not on our heart who we want to win. This is just pure betting, baby.
Yep.
I love this game. I love this team. They're running all over them. Arizona are just falling apart. They are who we thought they are. They are no good. Baltimore destroys them.
Oh, no. They should.
They will.
But there's a reason you can't trust Baltimore. This is the absolute
This is the
spot
situation
that Baltimore does every year or twice a year like clockwork. This is the game they should win 38-10.
They should.
And somehow they're either going to win or lose 19-17.
This is the game where we'd be at a game together. We'd have a confident bet on the Ravens. They'll be leading by 14 points and they'll lose by 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And we can't believe it because we were already jumping for joy minutes ago.
They're up by 14 with the ball with 6 minutes left in the game, and it goes in overtime and they lose. And it's like, what in the? This is the game. So for that reason, I would not touch this game because I do think Baltimore's way better. They should smash Arizona. So I think Arizona's trending down. Yes, I'm tired of it. I still have Arizona fatigue even after not picking them last week.
Yeah.
But to me, this is the game. The Ravens do weird things.
Yeah.
They lost to the Steelers. Then I think they beat somebody pretty good. Then I thought they were up last week to play Detroit. And this is a letdown. It's the road game against a crappy team. And they're going to play down to the competition, and it's going to be a nail biter.
If it was a mediocre team against a crappy team, I'd take the points on the crappy team. But it's a damn good team against a crappy team. They're going to walk right over them. I don't disagree with you.
They're always like that. Yeah.
Baltimore will smash them.
Okay. Chargers, Bears.
God, this is bloody awful too. I mean, who the hell is playing for the Bears? Nobody knows how to pronounce his name. So
Bears.
I'm not even going to bother. The Bears are absolutely shocked. Here's my only take on this. The Chargers, what's the deal with the Chargers right now? Chargers are 2-4. They're at home to arguably the worst team in the league. Talking about Super Bowls, they better win this game. Or I think...
Who's talking about Super Bowls for the Chargers?
Earlier on when you were talking about it was the Carolina Panthers at 0-6, their Super Bowl game. This is This is the must-win game for the Chargers. 2-4, they must win this. Otherwise, Super Staley's he's out on his ear. This is a
but I projected that would happen. But I did predict they would win this game.
Yeah,
they should win 8.5. Now here's
that's my worry. The points. I don't like the points.
Yeah. So here is what I wrote down for this, and I was looking for a superlative. For this, I was going to ask you, if you had to make the most uncomfortable pick on the entire board, what would it be? The most uncomfortable side. You would be like squirming the whole time you were making the pick, watching the game. What would it be?
The most uncomfortable pick. If I had to pick one. I'm uncomfortable with all my picks.
I can give you my answer while you're thinking.
The Bears with the points.
It's the Bears with the points.
Yeah.
You could look at New England's uncomfortable, but that's a division rival dog. You could talk yourself into that one. Denver, you could talk yourself into. The Ravens, you could talk yourself into the Cardinals because of the Ravens letdown. This one, I have no idea why you would take the Bears, but I looked at all the stats that I use when I'm doing my analysis. And I don't know if they're the stats are good. I don't know if they're relevant to what we're doing, but the stats are almost dead even for these two teams. There's no way if you're doing it by statistics that this game should be 8.5 points. It should probably be 3 or 4 at the most.
Yeah.
So I think the most uncomfortable pick on the board is Chicago +8. I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I have the guts to do it, but I think there's probably the most value of any team right there.
Yeah, see, as uncomfortable as I am, I can only see the Chargers winning the game. And can they win by 2 scores is the big question, which is what you're saying.
Especially with Staley.
Words. Especially with Staley and Herbert, who's not right, and an offensive line that's not great. It's just a messy bag of dicks right there. Don't like it.
You could talk yourself out of both sides pretty easily.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a stay away. That's a stay away sign. But there was one stat on the Bears QB. He had the shortest air yards targeted air yards or whatever for the entire season. So my guess is the Chargers aren't going to let him do that again. Mm-hmm. So he won't be able to throw the ball 2 yards and go down the field and win games.
Yeah.
So I think the Chargers win. If I had to bet, I would uncomfortably take the Chargers or the Bears to cover.
The Bears. Yeah.
Lions, Raiders, Monday night.
Yeah, again, not a game that super appeals to me. I can't stand the Raiders. I love it when a team from the West goes out east. They don't like playing in the temperature. They don't practice in. It's too cold for them. Mm-hmm. Detroit had a bad beat last week. Detroit wins the game no matter what this week. Mm-hmm. How much buy is the question? Do they maul them? Do the Lions maul the Raiders? Highly likely. I would lean up. They cover.
You'd lean Detroit. Detroit to win for sure. The spread is a big number. Mm-hmm. I can see Detroit blowing them out. Mm-hmm. The thing that makes me uncomfortable about the Raiders is they play ball control. So they're going to try to slow the game down. They're going to try to limit possessions. They're going to try to grind out drives. And so that just limits your opportunities to extend leads and keep the lead.
I agree.
I heard Garoppolo's coming back. I don't know what to think about Garoppolo. If you put pressure on him, he's going to fall apart. The Detroit defensive line's all right. I like Hutchinson, obviously. Yeah. But don't know about the points. My notes are Detroit to win and a question mark next to the cover.
Yep.
I also believe in the Monday night conspiracy, which is they want the games to be close for advertising. So kind of like the game tonight. Those calls were, I mean, they were the right call. They were penalties, but fuck yeah. Come on. Just to keep a few more eyeballs on Amazon Prime for another 30 minutes.
Yep.
They did that. So I worry about that shit. And I'm leaning taking more points anyway. I don't think I could take the Raiders. I don't think I could take the Raiders in any game against any team.
No, don't like them at all. Don't like them at all. I want Detroit to spank them.
Yeah. Even though you got Detroit under.
Yeah, but I've got Vegas under too.
Yeah. And you've got to think, when you were looking at the schedule, you chalked this one up to a Raiders loss.
Yeah, Detroit win.
Okay. So I think...
what do we have lined up on here?
I think we've got Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think we've got Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think we're going to let them hang, and we're going to take Carolina.
Yeah.
That's good because we've got 2 dogs, which I like. And then we've got Minnesota. What's another one in your top group that you want to put on there?
Seattle.
You like Seattle -3.5 against Cleveland. What else is on your list there?
Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore.
You
don't like the points with Baltimore.
We got Philly, Washington. I think they control the game and win.
Yeah, I do. They only have to win.
The Baltimore game really makes me nervous. I would probably lean Seattle.
You mean Philly?
You want Philly instead of Seattle?
No. I'm saying the 3 top ones of the favorites: Seattle, Philly, Baltimore.
You have them in that order?
I would take
Okay.
Seattle first.
You would take Seattle first.
Yeah.
And on that list, I might take Seattle first just because it's fewer points.
Yes.
And then on the top of my list is Jacksonville. Would you be opposed to taking Seattle and Jacksonville as our other 2?
I would not. Like I said, I have no bet on the Jacksonville. I don't. It's just a tricky one for me.
Mm-hmm.
I did write on my early points card over here. It's the only place I've got it written down. Jags -2.5. I don't have it on my gold and silver. So at one point, I liked it. So because it's there, let's do it.
All right. So we're going Cincinnati, or on the list, we're going Jacksonville. Oh, screw it. We'll go Cincinnati, Seattle, Carolina, Minnesota, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I like that, actually.
I like it. We've got a pick 'em, 2 dogs, and 2 favorites.
I like it.
I like it. And the spreads are all relatively narrow.
Yeah. One of our favorites is home.
Yep.
Seattle. One of our favorites is away at Pittsburgh.
Yep. That one, I like Jacksonville. There's reason to stay off of it, but that's my top one. Well, if Pittsburgh plays up, it's going to be a game.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's motivation does the roller coaster like it normally does, and they're down, I think Jacksonville wins handily.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are our picks for the audience. And then we got this other little thing that we're going to do here real fast. And then
Très bien.
Très bien. Yeah, we got 45 minutes there. I tried to weave in the superlative stuff, let down games, peak motivation, buy stuff. So we'll keep doing that.
Good.
All right, sweet.